Why divine separation? The enemy gets silenced. Hi everyone, it's Maria Maumela. Thank you for joining me. I have been silent for a brief moment. I had to sort out the children for the winter holidays, and then I caught the cold, and so I'm now nursing myself back to health. Um, but I actually first wanted to deal um, with the comment that a viewer sent, and it was to do with the divine separation. So I felt like it was so broad. This question came through the community post that I posted. I felt it was so broad, and I would love to just dissect it into many short videos, and it will be good for me since I'm just recovering. So yeah, I want to first start with the enemy being silenced. Now, with divine separation, we need to respect divine separation and understand that it's important. Like, it cannot be replaced. It has its worth. It has its place. We need to respect it. There is no divine separation when there's phone call communication or when there's meetings in person. That is not divine separation. Whenever you break it, you have to start all over again. Okay? Now, how does the enemy get silenced? The enemy is whispering things to you concerning your prodigal or concerning your spouse which are not true. And the enemy also takes the liberty to go to your God ordained spouse and whispers things about you which are not true. The enemy has the audacity to also run to the counterfeit to go and whisper things about you to them which are not true. This this causes confusion, it causes doubt, fear, misjudgment, misinterpretation of things. Um, it causes double-mindedness. It just creates chaos. So this is the game that the enemy is playing, and he's having a blast doing this. But when there's divine separation, there is the calmness, there is the silence, there is a peace. And the enemy does not have enough fuel to keep pumping the lies, because the counterfeit may be aware of the impact you have on your God ordained. Okay? And with you being in the picture, whatever decision, whatever words, whatever action that your person does, they will think you are influencing them, which may or may not be true. But when you are not there, the counterfeit really has no one else to blame. She will see it is just the two of them. And even if it doesn't work out, it will give the counterfeit some level of peace, knowing that it did not work out because you had a hand in it. They will know they had a fair chance with your person and it didn't work. And with your person, having to let go of this person, they will walk away with a heart that is free, that is open, knowing they did what they could to make it work, and it did not end because you had a hand in it, or you perhaps influenced them one way or the other to break up with the person. So at the end of the day, everybody has peace, and you have peace to focus on your work, education, ministry, business, whatever that you are working on, and you're able to just focus on that. So at this time, it allows everybody peace of mind, clarity to just be able to think, and we are able to beat the enemy at his own games. It can even get dirtier when there's witchcraft involved, because if you are having some witchcraft attacks, understanding that you have enemies as a person, though you may not consider other people your enemies, you naturally do have people who do not wish you well. Now, when you get attacks, the enemy can quickly point fingers to the counterfeit, and even so to the counterfeit, the enemy can also, whatever attacks that the counterfeit faces, it may also be pointed back to you. And they might start throwing some fiery darts against you. And it gets even more interesting when it's your kingdom spouse that is experiencing some attacks. when it is now whispered that it is you now who's sending a text to them. And it even gets even more complicated when you are facing attacks, and the enemy may whisper to you that they're actually coming from your God ordained. And all of these accusations may or may not be true. But the only way we are able to actually get ourselves out of this web of emotions is when there is that divine separation, because matters of the heart does influence our thinking. It is then that when we are out of the picture, we think clearly. It is in divine separation that I was able to realize that there are things that my kingdom spouses has tried to communicate to me, and I somehow could not accept or believe or hear. But through the divine separation, they get to click. I get to hear them. I get to hear them clearly. I get to understand, like, this man, he really meant what he was saying. But it's funny, when he said it, it didn't register at that time, but it's registering now. Why didn't I hear it? There was just too many noises. Some of you even were in a fight or argument with your God ordained, and he apologized. And because you were just caught up in this phase, you didn't even realize that he apologized. You were so unsure of the person, but he keeps telling you that I see you, I see you, I see you. And you still couldn't hear it because there was just so much noise that was happening. So during this time of peace and quiet, there are things that were spoken that flew over our heads that are now coming to remembrance. And we are able to make sense of the whole picture and have peace about it. And we have time to just be going through things in our own time and just make sense of the whole thing. Okay? So thank you, guys. God bless.